All right, friends, before we jump into another Friday edition of Three Ring Circus, we got to tell you about our friends over at Strava Craft Coffee. Strava Craft Coffee has upped the ante. They said, you know what? Let's throw the good folks down at DNVR a new code, a bigger discount. The code is DNVR25 to save 25% on your first order of Strava Craft Coffee. You got to check this stuff out. It's rich, tasty, CBD infused coffee with all sorts of different benefits. So if you haven't tried out CBD, a great way to have it is in your coffee. A lot of people say that this coffee doesn't give them the caffeine jitters that they get from so many other places, but still gives them that boost in the morning. A lot of people say it helps with ailments like aches and pains and headaches and migraines. So there's all sorts of different benefits of trying out Strava Craft coffee. And like I said, you can save 25% off when you use the code DNVR25. So make sure you check out Strava Craft Coffee today. What's up, guys, and welcome into another edition of Three Ring Circus. Happy Friday to you all. Of course, as always, I'm joined by my guys, Zach Stevens and Andrew Mason, who almost look like they're matching shirts today, but not quite. And we also, of course, have a special guest like we always do on these Fridays. And this guest might be the most excited of anyone ever to join us. So without further ado, let's bring on our friend, Romi Bean. Romi, look at all that excitement. Look at the energy.
What is up, you guys? I am pumped. I am like, what? I've been waiting for this invite all my life, it feels like. I mean, I know you've only been around a couple of years, but I've been waiting all my life for this. I really have.
Romi, I've been waiting for this type of energy. I love it.
Oh, I'm here for it. And you guys, I'm not a morning person, but for you guys, I am.
That's what I tell Zach and Mace every day. All right, before we...
I call this afternoon. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean... You're on the 65-year-old schedule, Zach.
He's gonna hit up Golden Corral for dinner at 4 p.m.
Exactly.
If you get dinner for happy hour price, what can be better?
It's not untrue. I'm like, if sleeping was an Olympic sport, you guys, I would definitely get gold every year.
Wow, yeah. I would have gotten last place last night if I was participating in that. All right. Before we jump in, of course, we got to give a shout out to MSU Denver Online, our presenting sponsor of the show. MSUdenver.edu is where you can scope out all they have to offer. 750 total classes, 45 plus online and hybrid programs. And MSU Denver students work twice as many hours as students attending any other Colorado institution. So make sure you check out MSUdenver.edu/online today. All right, Romi. So, of course, the schedule gets released earlier this week, and, we're sitting here, we're trying to break it down, and we're thinking, like, you kind of have to do multiple different breakdowns of this schedule, because what if they have Aaron Rodgers? What if they don't have Aaron Rodgers? What if it's Drew Lock? What if it's Teddy Bridgewater? So we figured today we would play a game with you called With or Without Aaron. The goal here is very simple. We're going to go through each game, and the decision is, do they win it with Aaron Rodgers? Do they win it without Aaron Rodgers?
Okay, I think I'm ready. This is tough. We have we print out the schedule in our office, and then everyone has to make predictions. We do at the beginning of the year, but we've added a caveat this year. You can change your bet if Aaron Rodgers comes to town, because
that's the only fair way to do it. And then at the end, of course, guys, we get to sing With or Without Aaron all together, Kumbaya style.
Oh, there's a song?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. I was unprepared.
With or without you?
Oh,
with or without Aaron.
Oh,
there. We're good. We'll
let Zach take the lead on that.
I'm going back to bed.
Oh, wow. Well, at least that means it was peaceful and beautiful if it's putting you to bed.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. All right, Zach, why don't you lead us through this?
All right. So, Romy, we're going to do one game at a time, and you're going to tell us whether the Broncos win the game with Aaron and without Aaron. It's okay if it's the same answer for both, and it's certainly okay if it's a different answer for both. So let's start with week 1. Of course, Broncos starting back-to-back road games. What is up with that? But they go to New York to play the Giants first. Romy, with Aaron Rodgers, do they win this game?
Easy dub.
Easy. I agree with that. Guys, do you any pushback to that?
There are like Saquon Barkley's back in the mix, you would assume, for week 1. So maybe that makes them a little bit better. But yeah, no. Broncos with Aaron Rodgers. I would say, he pulls like a Peyton Manning week 1, 7 touchdowns, lights up the field. Broncos fans are losing their minds.
It took Peyton a year to get to that point,
I know.
That's what Aaron Rodgers is going to do in the 2022 season. If he's a Bronco in 2021, he's going to open with 7 touchdowns next year.
I feel like he's going to be overwhelmed with like the amount of receivers he has. Like he's like, well, Green Bay never gave me this. I have so many options. What do I do?
And he throws one touchdown to every receiver, Romy. I like it.
Easy does it.
Okay, now what about without Aaron Rodgers? And we're talking, who knows? Is it Drew Lock? Is it Teddy Bridgewater? We don't know.
I'm still going a dub. I feel like for the first year in a couple of years, Broncos actually have a chance to start out strong, which would be a nice departure from the 0-3 and 0-4 we've had the past 2 years. So yeah, I'm going with another dub.
With all hope not being killed by October, that would be certainly nice for everyone, including us. And so, Romy, I mean, when we don't know who the quarterback is going to be if it's not Aaron Rodgers, what's your take on it right now as we sit here May 14th? Is it going to be Drew? Is it going to be Teddy? When you're doing these predictions without Aaron Rodgers, who do you think it's going to be?
That's interesting. I feel like this is going to be a tough one for Drew because George Paton clearly has a connection with Teddy, right? He clearly likes Teddy. He likes the veteran leadership. But, I think maybe that's exactly what Drew needs to light a little bit of fire. I think, I want to give Drew the benefit of the doubt that he has improved over the last year, that he's watched his game, that he's learned that. So I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wins it all. So that's what I'm going to go with, but I think this is going to be a tough one to win because I think the front office is maybe a little bit pro Teddy at this point.
I was going to say that makes this a 2-2 split here because I think it's Drew too. And Zach and Mace, you guys are both still on the Teddy train, right?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, the best thing for the Broncos is that it's Drew. I just think, Romy, you mentioned the front office connection. I also think Pat Shurmur has that connection, and I just think that that's the way that they're going to lean here and go with the safe option that's not going to take as many chances as Drew.
Well, you got the coaches that basically their seats are warming up right now, and I think they need to have at minimum a winning season here, and what's going to get them to a winning season is fewer mistakes from the quarterback position. And certainly I think we're going to see kind of going forward that what the Broncos are going to focus on as we get in OTAs in camp is in limiting mistakes and preventing those from last year, because they feel like that there were winnable games that they let slip because of their own miscues last season.
I mean, I can't disagree, but I feel like, you want to hope. We always talk about the NFL being a merit-based league, right? I kind of, in a perfect world, I guess you want to hope that they give Drew the chance to really earn it. I mean, Teddy is definitely the safer bet, but he's just like boring. Right.
He's steady Teddy.
But it's what you said. He's steady Teddy. Right. And that's the thing with the way they're building the defense. You just need a steady Teddy. He's got so many options, which is why I feel like, again, if Drew does win this, it's going to be impressive for him because that's going to be a feat because I feel like Teddy does have a leg up.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see Drew Lock start the season, and there's going to be a little bit of a short leash on him that just says, hey, if you don't protect the ball, we've got someone who will.
Well, and what I like about that, guys, is then this game 1 is truly the Pat Shurmur Bowl because it's Pat Shurmur. It's his quarterback that he drafted. It's the quarterback that he said he liked in the draft but passed on. It's, of course, the Giants. It's the Broncos. So fun, a lot of storylines there. And then, Romy, week 2. So Broncos 1-0 in both situations, playing what typically is just a very boring Jaguars team. But this year, a lot of excitement. How does it play out with and without Aaron Rodgers?
I think we should go with and without Tim Tebow on this one, maybe. I don't know. But I'm giving them another dub. Again, I think this is a year they can actually start out strong. It's going to be exciting to see Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, but it's all going to be very, very fresh for them. I think it's the perfect opportunity to capitalize on a lot of newbies over there.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think that the Broncos are fortunate to be playing this game in week 2 instead of week 16, where I think they would still have a chance to beat Jacksonville, but then it would be a little tougher there. So like you said, capitalize on being fresh, and heck, maybe Tim Tebow's out there dropping passes or something.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, Rome, week 3, first home game. Isn't that the first time in since 2003 that the Broncos haven't had a home game until week 3?
I believe so. I mean, guys, the entire the schedule is a reflection of how the national perspective looks at the Broncos, right? No Monday night game for the first time in 29 years. I mean, we're all pumped, but it is telling. They don't have their home opener till week 3, so they got some work to do.
Yeah. And so how do you see this playing out? I mean, another rookie quarterback with and without Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, I'm going 3-0.
Oh my goodness.
3-0.
No.
Why at this point, Romy? Why even bring in Aaron Rodgers if they're going to be 3-0 without him?
They don't. Aaron, they don't need you.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it feels crazy to say the Broncos are going to start 3-0, but you can absolutely make the case for why they would win all 3 of these games. Just the realist in me is telling me you got to pick one that they're going to lose, just in my head. And I don't know which one it is. I'm just I mean,
I don't know. I guess that Jacksonville one could be tricky with the Florida Heat. The Broncos historically have not really done that well. They always stink in Miami. So I don't know. That could be something that comes in, just like when teams come here and play in the altitude. I feel like that could maybe throw a wrench in things. But realistically, they should win all 3.
Yeah, they should. I would say that, because Ryan, I'm right there with you. I think they're 2-1 after this stretch without Aaron Rodgers. I think they're 3-0 with, and I would point to one of the first 2 games. If Daniel Jones happens to come on the scene and really take a big step up in year 3, that could be a tricky one. Or the Jaguars, but they should not lose to the Jets at home.
Yeah, Henry in the comments here saying if they don't start 3-0, the season is lost. I just feel like that's a bad way to look at things.
Well, I mean,
tough way.
I wouldn't say it's lost, but even at 2-1, looking at kind of when I went through it, if it's Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater, it's a narrow path. And the flip side of this is you love that start, but you don't really like that finish unless Kansas City is playing for absolutely nothing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
It's true.
Right. So let's get closer to the finish here. Romy, are the Broncos staying undefeated? Are they going 4-0 hosting the Baltimore Ravens?
No.
With Aaron Rodgers as well?
I think either way.
Difference.
I'm going down. I know this feels. I feel weird being like, why are they the same right now? They should not be the same, because it would clearly be different. But yeah, I think Baltimore is the first big challenge of the year. I mean, this is a team that has been contenders for the past few years, and you got to assume Lamar's just taken another step up in his game. I feel like this one's the first loss of the season either way.
So it's funny when you look at games like this, and when you do the with Aaron schedule, it's so hard, because every time you look at a game on paper, when you have a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback on your team, you're just like, they should win it.
Right.
You go through 17 games and just be like, yeah, that's 17-0. But you do have to find losses somewhere on the schedule. I think if you're going to pick one, this is one that, is certainly in the running.
Oh, they're coming. They're just not there yet.
Well, and you have to look at the opposing quarterback as well, because there's potentially, a future Hall of Famer or 2 on this schedule that the Broncos have to play. And Lamar Jackson, maybe not Hall of Fame status yet, but an MVP guy. So, I mean, that's not crazy to say that, one MVP is going to lose to another. So, Romy, I'm right there with you. And also, Peyton Manning started, wasn't it 2-3 his first year with the Broncos? So, I mean, it's not like it just took 1 week to get everything going under his belt. This would be a much better start at 3-1. So Romy, maybe probably the toughest home game or road game for the Broncos to date, going into Pittsburgh week 5.
Man, I'm even with Aaron, I'm going loss on both sides. I think this year, especially assuming that the crowds are full again, a lot of stadiums appear to be really trying to get to that full capacity. It is so hard to win at Heinz Field. I mean, there's a lot of questions in Pittsburgh, like, is this Big Ben's last year? But the AFC North is just formidable every year. And I think this is going to be back-to-back L's.
Wow. Still no differences. I think for me at this point with Aaron, they're at least 4-1.
Yeah. This game was where it diverged on my list. This is the first one where this is the first one where I have them winning with Aaron and not with Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater.
I think it all comes down to who Ben Roethlisberger is. Is he the declining Ben, or is he going to find a little extra juice here? Because that defense, I mean, Romy, I'm right there with you. Playing in Heinz Field with that defense, that pass rush, that's going to be tough.
Well, and I think, and I know this is a little bit of a generic statement, but I find that these Hall of Fame quarterbacks, they heat up at the right time, and the right time is not September or October. Look at Tom Brady. Look at all the time he was with the Patriots. They're terrible in September. And the best quarterbacks know how to pace themselves so they're peaking at the right time. And I feel like we see these guys, Russ Wilson, all these guys in November, December, just turn on the jets and go insane. And I think that's when we'll really see a difference. Again, looking at this, I feel like I'm totally wrong. There's no way with and without Aaron, it's the same record. But I think that changes towards the end of the season.
Well, let's see if it happens right now. Next game, the Broncos are back at home, week 6, hosting the Raiders.
The Raiders with Aaron. This is a dub.
Yeah. Without
Aaron.
A little more uncomfortable.
I mean, I want to hope the Broncos win more than one division game this year.
Boy, this is a coin flip right here. If you've ever heard what a coin flip sounds like.
This is
usually coin flips don't take this long.
Toss 7. You know what? I'm going to go with the dub. I'm keeping it. I'm staying consistent.
Why even get Aaron Rodgers at this point, guys? Exactly. Drew Lock is bringing them to the same record, but I love it. Okay, now a really tough one with or without Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. You go on the road to Cleveland, short week, Thursday night, playing a team that many people believe can be in the AFC Championship game. Romy, with and without Aaron, what happens?
Gosh, see, now we're getting in the thick of it. I hate Thursday night games. I really do. I'm going to say it's a loss.
For both ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same record still. I mean, at this point, you might as well let the Packers hold on to him for half the season and trade for him then.
Right? Like, why spend the money now, guys? This should make Broncos fans feel real confident. Here's my caveat. It's not Drew Lock or Teddy that's doing this. It's the defense that's carrying them to this point.
And I think Romy, when you look at all of these wins that you have for the Broncos so far, I think you can absolutely convince yourself that the defense can hold those teams to where the offense can do just enough to win in those games. And you look at the losses, and those are teams with the best offenses. So it's just too much for the defense.
You know what it is? And I mean, really, guys, Vic Fangio has everything he needs to be successful on defense. And as long as the guys stay healthy, I mean, there's no reason why this defense shouldn't be an absolute nightmare. You go back to 2015. I'm not saying there'll be anywhere near that, but a defense can win games for you, can win in 2015, they won like almost all their games by like 7 points or less or something like that. So I just feel like this year the defense has the potential to really do that, to really carry that team. And the defenses love doing that. They love being the guys that are like, put it on my back, let's go. So I'm feeling that.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Romi Bean just said the Broncos defense is going to be better than this 2015
I did
defense
not
and
say
win
that.
a
That is
Super Bowl this
blasphemy.
year.
You take that back. You take that back. I would never say that. I'm hanging up right now.
Oh, that's a
blasphemy.
baller hat. Baller. All that gold.
I know. I got it at the Super Bowl.
Wow. Big flexing.
Flex.
All right, Romy. Broncos come back home and play the Washington football team with or without Aaron Rodgers. I mean, is it just the same no matter what?
I mean, the only thing I have circled on my calendar is that Nikki Jhabvala is coming back to town.
Yes.
And it's also a Halloween game. I've already reached out to the cheerleader director to ask her if she needs a dinosaur for the halftime show. So that's really where my focus is. I have to be honest. Might not even pay attention to the game on this one. But this next couple run. This is where the Broncos should really bring in a couple wins. I'm going to give them a dub on both sides.
Whoa, both sides. I mean, we're almost midway
This is
through.
ridiculous. I feel completely like I just am like illegitimizing myself right now as I'm doing this because the records are the same.
You gotta go with what your gut says, right?
I know,
and I love it. This is an exercise to see. I waited till today to do this as well. So, I mean, does it change here? Dallas on the road.
Okay, Dallas on the road. I'm giving him a dub with Aaron for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna. I think on the road and L without Aaron.
There it is.
There it is. Week 9.
There
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Like I said,
Aaron
just wait half
Rodgers.
the season before you trade for him.
Right.
And another thing that I like about this game being a dub with Aaron is this is Mike McCarthy versus Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers dislikes Mike McCarthy more than Mike McCarthy dislikes Aaron Rodgers. So I think he would bring a lot of extra something. Whereas Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, they don't have that. And also I think, is a really good quarterback. So I totally agree here. I think it's a different outcome depending on the quarterback.
And this is another team with Dallas. You get Dak Prescott back in there. It's going to be one of the better offenses in football. Certainly they've got ample skill position guys. And this is where if you don't have Aaron Rodgers, this is where your defense could give up 24 points and do its job. But if the offense doesn't have enough punch, you end up losing, say, 24-23 or 28-24, something like that.
This is one of those things too, where I think, guys, if there's one, obviously we don't know all the inside details and what's happening, but it's very clear that Aaron Rodgers holds grudges and does not forgive, right? And so it goes back to the McCarthy thing. I think anybody who he's played, he'll just want to absolutely demolish. There's that extra pep, and then the whole team wants to win it for him too. Whereas if it's Drew or it's Teddy, it's like, all right, we're just focusing on the dub. There's not that extra juice. And I totally agree with what Mace said. This could be like a 24-23, a little slip.
Yeah. And so because of this 17-game schedule, there's no really halfway point in the season. So I guess this is it right here with Aaron Rodgers. The Broncos are 6-3. Without Aaron Rodgers, the Broncos are 5-4 with one game before the bye week. So Romy, heading into the bye week, playing Philadelphia at home, what happens?
Man, they got to win this one. I mean, there's no excuse. Again, this is kind of like the first 3 games of the season. This week 8, 9, and 10, you got to get at least 2 or 3 in there, and you don't really have an excuse not to, especially for the 2 home games. I think this should be a win either way.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And then the Broncos do exactly what you said, even without Aaron Rodgers in week 8, 9, and 10. They win 2 of 3 and the 2 at home. So without Aaron Rodgers, 6-4. With Aaron Rodgers, 7-3 heading into the bye. I mean, people got to be ecstatic either way, right?
Gosh. This sounds so generous when I was talking about the team that went 5-11 last year, but I'm feeling it this morning.
I have to say, either side of this, I think that Washington football game is going to be sneaky tough. I don't know if I would quite mark it down as an L, but everyone always wants to talk about building your team from the inside out, and that is exactly what Washington has done. They are nasty in the trenches. And I think they're going to, like, on any given week, I think they could just pose serious problems for teams on both sides of the ball in the trenches. And so, I don't know if it's going to be that week for the Broncos, but I think a lot of teams are going to maybe get surprised by them.
I think so too. I think Washington could actually be a team that could blow out any team that's not like one of the top 4 teams in the league if Ryan Fitzpatrick is hot, because then teams are going to be forced to pass to keep up with them, and then you're just going to have Chase Young going off. So Ryan, I'm right there with you. I think that's probably an L without Aaron Rodgers. With Aaron Rodgers, it should be a dub. But, I mean, winning record going into the bye. So, Romi, Broncos just have a fantastic bye week and get very rejuvenated for their Week 12 game against the Chargers at home. I mean, we're talking Week 12, and this is just their second division game here. You said maybe the Broncos will get more than one division win. Does it come here?
Dude, this one's going to be a fight to the finish. I mean, talk about like a bloodbath to end the season. Yeah. I think at home, they're going to get the Chargers. I think this is going to be their second division win, definitely with Aaron. I like the win in the bye week, too. Without Aaron, I'm going to say yes, because I just feel like this is like the student and the master. Vic Fangio has to know how to outcoach, outperform Brandon Staley, right? I mean, that was one of his little prodigies. Justin Herbert, I mean, that is, I guess, a little bit, I mean, I'm expecting big things from him, but I'm going to give the Broncos the benefit of the doubt off the bye, and Vic Fangio better just coach his tail off and get the better of one of his students.
Yeah, so you touch on it a little bit, but Justin Herbert, sophomore slump or no?
Gosh, it's just, I feel like when a player's on the Chargers, there's this caveat where it's just like, for some reason, no matter what, like they're just, something's going to fall apart. They're totally going to fall apart. But, one thing that I can't remember who said this, but they said, first year, it's the quarterback's advantage. Second year, it's the coach's advantage. And I think second year, they played Herbert twice. One thing we've seen is even with Mahomes, that has been where Fangio has been very successful game planning. He played Herbert twice already now. So I think they're going to have the edge in terms of how to defend him, and if this defense is as strong as it is, I think sophomore slump or not, I think the Broncos will get the better of them at home because of coaching. That didn't really answer the question at all because I don't know if he's going to have a sophomore slump, so I avoided the question.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it. The way I interpreted your answer was he's not going to have a sophomore slump for the season, but when he plays the Broncos, he's going to look more human than like a rookie of the year guy.
That was true last year as well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so win for the Broncos again. All right, maybe the most difficult game on the schedule going into Kansas City in December. Romy, can Aaron Rodgers pull off the miracle?
Nope. I mean, look, I am here for Rodgers and Mahomes twice a year. But if they do end up in the same division, I'm giving Mahomes the edge for the first year, especially how much they've shored up that offensive line. And Mahomes can just, it's hard because you want to hate him, but he's just so fun to watch. No, in Kansas City, too, I think that especially, again, if they're full capacity, I mean, how many times have we heard guys talk about you can't even hear what's going on in those games? So guys like whoever gets the center position, say it's if it's Cush or maybe it's Quinn Miners, either way, those guys have no idea what they're about to go into with literally you can't hear a thing with how loud that crowd is. And they've had a ton of fans last year. So I'm sure they're going to be full capacity. That plus December, it's always freezing there and it's that humid cold. Even though Aaron does do humid cold, I guess, up in Green Bay still. No, there's nothing the Chiefs want more than to just demolish the Broncos, especially if Aaron Rodgers is there.
So this would be my first, hot take of the schedule. I would say the Broncos win this one.
Ooh, I like it.
Send a message with Aaron, of course.
Yeah.
Send a message that order is going to be restored in the AFC West now that Aaron is in Denver. But I think it'll be a great game. I think both of those games will be great games. It'll find a way to get on prime time, and people will have quite the time watching that one. The NFL was really excited because they got a Chiefs Packers game on the schedule this year. But now they're going to get two.
And Romy, here's why I agree with you. I don't think the Chiefs have been getting up for Broncos games for the past couple of years. Once they've been on, a 10-game win streak, I really don't think, and I think that's a reason why some of these games have been close recently, is the Chiefs just haven't wanted, from a coaching standpoint and a player standpoint. Players haven't been as juiced, and then the coaching hasn't wanted to give as many things away to other teams, and I think the Chiefs would absolutely be fired up for this. So I just think in Kansas City, it would just be a little too difficult difficult. But Romy, I mean,
Did
Drew
they get
Lock
up for the
coming
Super
home?
Bowl?
What?
Did they get up for the Super Bowl?
No, they certainly didn't.
Well, their
but,
tackles didn't, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
no, you know what? Though what you're saying, Zach, is like okay, so I totally agree. So there's a lovely girl who works sideline for Kansas City, and this was like a shot to the heart last year. We saw her on the sidelines and we're talking to her. And we were like, oh man, of course Broncos so fired up for this week. And she was like, honestly, the Chiefs are like, this is a write-off game. And it was like, oh, that hurt so bad. But that is really how they've thought about the Broncos the past few years. If Rodgers is there, this is a whole different ball game, right? Like then they really do get up. But I still think they lose either way.
Yeah. Yeah, very fair. All right, now this should be a very different story for this next game. At home against the Lions, and no Matthew Stafford, but instead Jared Goff.
Wow, poor Jared Goff. Prayers for Jared Goff, the California boy. I don't know how this is going to go. With Aaron, this is a definite dub.
Yeah.
Without Aaron. I don't know. Are they going to be kneecapping the whole team? Like, is Drew Lock getting his third kneecap taken off? I'm going to say, I think the Broncos take an L on this one without Aaron.
Oh,
wow.
I know.
Hey.
It's just the slip up. It's we're like, man, we lost to Kansas City 2 weeks after the bye. I just feel like I got to make it a little different.
I mean, there's always games that you don't expect to lose that you do.
True.
So
It's true. So without Aaron right now, heading into the final quarter of the season, Broncos 7-6. So I mean, at least they're probably still in the playoff talk. Probably not in the division talk right now, but still competitive. And of course, with Aaron, the Broncos are very competitive right now. All right, Romy, what happens Cincinnati the next week? This maybe not be the Cincinnati team that has been so boring over the past 10 years now with Joe Burrow.
They're getting better, but still, I cannot believe they did not take an offensive lineman in the first round. I mean, they saw what happened to poor Joey Burrow last season, and I feel like they have done nothing to really shore up that offensive line. And as we saw in the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter how good you are. If your line is trash or if your line is even just not top tier quality, you can't be the quarterback that, we expect you to be, so to speak. And so I don't know. I feel like they still have a lot of work to do on the line. And I think that the Broncos are going to win this one either way.
Love it. Dubs there. Romy,
Dubs.
I think I agree with you that the Broncos lose one of those two games. I'm just saying that the Broncos lose against Cincinnati because Joe Burrow just takes them to new heights. But I think they beat the Lions there. So I'm on lockstep with you there.
I mean, I feel like it probably is flopped, but it's too late now. It's on the screen.
No, I love it. Like Ryan said, you're gonna win a game you don't expect, and you're gonna lose a game that you don't expect. So I like that one. And then final 3-game stretch here, all division, 2 of 3 on the road. And let's start with going into Las Vegas the day after Christmas. Is there a late Christmas present here for the Broncos?
Also, before I say anything, did you see that they're adding like a nightclub at the end of one of the ends? They're the most Vegas thing ever. It's just ridiculous. It's like, can you stay focused? But that's the most Vegas thing ever.
as we've seen with the Rockies, when the team isn't worth watching, you got to put something else in there. So we have the party deck, they get the party zone or whatever they're going to call it.
And they've been very successful at still bringing in the people. So you're not wrong there. You know what? I'm going to say with Aaron. Sorry, I'll stop calling him Aaron.
We love it.
Well, the Packers, they don't have Aaron reporting, but they have Balake. Now they have Bortles.
Yes.
Balake. Like it. You know what? I think John Gruden is going to be so depressed that he did not get Aaron Rodgers, that he's just going to be watching him in tears, not even able to function or game plan. And with Aaron, the Broncos win this one.
But without,
they've been so poor in the division. And
sorry, Drew.
Yeah.
I think they split the series. Yeah, I think that's an L.
Okay. Very, very fair there. All right. What about with the Chargers? Is there a splitting of the series here, or do the Broncos sweep in what could be their 10th home game of the season, even though it happens to be taking place in Los Angeles?
Let's see.
So where are we on the other one? Is that 8-7 on one side? And
We're at with Aaron, we're at 11-4.
Whew.
And the other side is 8-7.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 3-game difference.
So there is a difference. See, you know,
Boy, this is a thinker.
Two-
Another
this-
coin flip.
2 teams fighting for a wild card spot potentially.
you know what? I'm going to go back to what I said. I think the best quarterbacks heat up when it's most important. And if week 17, Aaron Rodgers is going to, this is why he was the MVP last season with Aaron. They win this one. They sweep the Chargers.
Ooh,
Love it.
12-3. I love it. Or 12-4 with Aaron.
Can you imagine 12 wins, you guys, after a 5,
No.
6? I don't even know. I don't know what we're going to do with that. Without
See, part of it is having him winning the other game. I just, without Rodgers, I can't see a sweep here.
Yeah, I feel like you're right, and I feel like I am underestimating Justin Herbert a little bit too, in terms of what he's going to do, in terms of the progress he's going to make. I think Mace is totally right. I don't see a sweep. I'm going to give him an L on the other side.
And the other thing is, I mean, obviously Vic knows Brandon Staley, but with Brandon Staley, that defense is going to be substantially better in LA than it was last year. And even in that second game last year, gave the Broncos a lot of problems.
They did, and like I'm a sucker for offensive line. I think because we've suffered so much the past few seasons, but they did well in the draft with they took Rashawn Slater. I think they're doing the right things to protect Herbert. And the thing with the Chargers is, like, can they stay healthy? I've got to assume that they've got to have the best of everything out there now. So this far in the season, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I think this is not a sweep unless Aaron's here.
Fair. And entering the last game of the season right now, Aaron Rodgers does provide a big boost. It's a 4-game difference. Broncos are 12-4 with him, 8-8 without him. Maybe this final game means a ton in both ends. Maybe the Broncos are fighting for that final wild card spot without Aaron, and maybe they're fighting for the number 1 seed in the AFC with Aaron. So what happens when the Chiefs are in Denver?
See, now this was like speculation, but I assume the Chiefs to be top of the division, top of the AFC at this point. And so I think week 18, they're sitting maybe Mahomes for a little bit. I'm giving the Broncos the win because I think that the Chiefs will already have clinched a spot. They'll already have won the division. I think they'll have a lot to fight for. And so I think this can be a chance where the Broncos, probably with a ton of the line, are playing a ton on the line, are playing their hearts out, and this game's not a big deal for the Chiefs. And as a result, the Broncos going to win over the Chiefs.
So you've got the Chiefs then going 15-2, or no? Because so they would be 15-1 going into this game.
Or they could be 14-2.
But
if
then
the Broncos are 12-4 going into this
Oh,
game.
the Broncos are 12-4.
It'll be locked
Okay,
up.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If the Broncos are 12-4, they are absolutely 15-2. I honestly feel like the Chiefs, I last year kind of wanted them to win the Super Bowl because I feel like they're going to scorch the earth this year. It's actually not great that they lost because of who Mahomes is. I think he's just, it's going to be coming in like a man on fire every week. But at this point in the season, they've already clinched everything because I just think that that's the mentality they're going to have. And again, with that offense, there's just no reason for them not to be successful.
Now, what if they haven't clinched, though, in this game? Does that change your pick?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they haven't clinched, I think it's definitely an L without Aaron.
Yep.
With
with.
Aaron, with
With Aaron, and if they haven't clinched with Aaron, this might be for the AFC West title.
Right. And this man, what a game. What a game.
It's also going to be a primetime game if that's the case.
Absolutely. I think with Aaron, and again, I'm going to say he gets to rely on this great defense as well. I think they sneak out week 18 with Aaron with a dub.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
love it.
Oh, and then they go into the playoffs with beating the Chiefs. They're going to be on a five-game win streak, having won, 9 of their last 10?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way you want to go. That's really Peyton Manning
I went to
in
Peyton Manning
2012. Exactly, when they started a tiny bit slow, and certainly a 3-3 start with Aaron Rodgers, or 4-3 start with Aaron Rodgers is a little slow, and then they just take off.
And I think the difference we got to remember with Peyton, he came here, he hadn't played for a year. We didn't even know if this man could still play. Aaron's coming off an MVP season. So I don't think it takes him a whole season to get adjusted. But I think no matter where you are, no matter how good you are, there is an adjustment process. And that's why I really think Aaron comes in clutch late. I think that's when it makes the difference. He's got that veteran experience. He knows how important those late games are. And there's just this, like I went back to Russell Wilson, they turn on a switch in like November, December. That's not necessarily, in September, they're just kind of, figuring everything out. So I feel like with Aaron Rodgers late, that's when you really get into the playoffs and get a good seed and all of the above, all those things.
So, Romi, your official prediction was that the Broncos actually lose that Week 18 game just because that they win it because the Chiefs have it all locked up. So you're going 13-4 with Aaron Rodgers, and without, if the Chiefs have it all locked up and the Chiefs aren't playing for anything, you're going 9-8. So a winning record for the Broncos either way.
I do. I think 9 games. No matter who's the quarterback with this schedule, they should be able to pull off, and again, all things being equal, everybody stays healthy, But I'm sure you guys have talked about this ad nauseum, but Cortland Sutton, all these guys coming back, last year's Broncos, it's going to look like a totally, totally different team. I think 9 games in a 17-game season is easy for them to do, and they should be able to do.
Yeah, I think you're right around where I would be here going through this 9-8, 8-9. I think that's right. Probably get to 10. I if they sunk down to 7, I would think something went pretty wrong in terms of the injury luck or whatever it may be. On the other side, I think I would be. We ended 13-4 there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be a little more bullish on the Broncos, having them go 14-3.
Oh my goodness!
Maybe even 15-2 with
goodness.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I just think that he's that good. I think they would be that good. You add Aaron Rodgers to this team with that defense. I think that's the part that is so important. Mm-hmm. It's not just the defense. It's the same defense with or without Aaron Rodgers, but it's not really because that defense is going to be playing a whole different game. When Aaron Rodgers is out there scoring touchdowns most of the time that they're out there on the field on offense. So I think that you're going to see that defense crank it up. And I would be really, really bullish on the Broncos if they have Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, I totally agree. I think sorry, Zach. I think the thing is too, like, this defense is so not used to not playing from behind, right? So what kind of a defense do we see? But I just think also with Vaughn coming back, before he got hurt, he looked like he was about to just have an unbelievable season. For Vic Fangio, for the first time to have Vaughn and Bradley Chubb, I just think he can do ridiculous things. We've been waiting since he came here to see that. And if those two can stay healthy, I think we're going to see that. And I just think it's going to wreak absolute havoc on other quarterbacks.
Ryan, I'm with you on the 15-2, 14-3 next year with them once they have a full off season. Because regardless, they're not going to have a full off season, a full year. I'm with Romi with exactly where she's at now because I don't like the slow start, but I think that a slow start, and putting that in quotes, they still have a winning record. They never have a losing record with this team. They're still 4-3, but then they take off. I absolutely love that way. And so, Romi, good job for not backing down when you were getting all that pushback earlier at the beginning of this season about how they're going to be the same with or without him. Look, it turned out just perfect.
But also, this is kind of funny, you know, like everybody blows everything out of proportion. Say this really does happen and they start essentially the same. Everyone will be like, oh, why do we even get Aaron Rodgers? We didn't need him. Oh my gosh. Put Drew Lock in.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, I would like to think, though, that people, if they get off to a little bit of a clunky start, 4-3, that people do not have enough amnesia to where they've forgotten 2012 and how that started 2-3.
It took people like
Peyton Manning.
Right. Absolutely.
It took people like 6 weeks to forget how much they liked Drew Lock in his rookie season.
I mean, I always go back to, and I will just never forget that in that Chiefs game in 15, Peyton Manning was booed off the field. So ever since I saw that happen, that has changed my perspective on how fans think about anything. I think anyone will get booed off the field if you're going to boo Peyton Manning off the field. But again, I think with what you were saying, Mace, that there is a little more room for people like, that's okay. We'll heat up later. No big deal. We got Aaron Rodgers. I think you're totally right. I think even if they have the same record through week 7, it's a completely different outlook because everyone's saying, oh, you know, Rodgers is just getting heated up. Oh, he's just getting used to his receivers. Yeah. There's this, it's a totally different outlook than, the Broncos are just hanging in there. Can they hang in there with Drew and Teddy? Completely different narratives, even if they have the same record.
By the way, booing at home, which was worse? Booing Peyton Manning off the field against Kansas City or booing the team when it had a lead at halftime against Jacksonville in 2013.
I mean, the thing about that is like the Chiefs game, you know, they like that was actually terrible. Like, but you're also booing like an old man
who's giving you so much.
Yes,
and he also, what record did he set there? He set the passing yards record,
the yardage record, like early in the game, but it was like it was a modest gain. And it was like it was in a sea of incompletions, and everything was so weird about that day. It just, I mean, for him to set a significant career record on what was literally the worst day he had as a pro. It's just weird. Stunning.
But like, if your friend's grandpa goes up to do stand-up comedy. And he's terrible. Like you're not throwing tomatoes at him. You're just like you're giving him some courtesy laughs and just being like, "Oh God, that was bad," behind his back. That's what it should have been.
The tomatoes around.
They were throwing tomatoes at Grandpa.
I mean, that whole season too, guys. Like I was just like, again, I was like, let's get the defense on the field. All right, Peyton, be a game manager. You know, it was like, what are you expecting him to all of a sudden be fantastic when he's clearly been going downhill all season? But it was just horrible to see. Like it like broke a little piece of my soul because I'm like,
The like befuddled Peyton face on the sideline is tough to see every time. You're just like, I don't like seeing him like this.
Man.
He's usually so in control of everything, and that day it just felt like he lost all control.
Yeah, that was ugly. But again,
even as an intern, he's
in
charge of
a guy
everything.
like that, right?
I was gonna say he doesn't hold it against Broncos fans. Thankfully, we're still getting great content out of Peyton Manning 5 years later.
Well, you know, he knows. The fans love him. That was just crazy. It was just like a crazy thing to see. It's one of those like novelty things that you tell your kids, right? Like, oh, you will not believe what I saw in 2015.
It's Denver's version of booing Santa Claus. That's what it is. Billy has booing Santa Claus. We have booing Peyton Manning.
They're basically like just as mythological.
No, seriously. Crazy.
Speaking of those two, do you think that Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers have had contact in the last couple weeks?
You know, maybe. I know for a fact Aaron Rodgers and John Elway have had contact in the past couple of weeks. I know for a fact they were playing golf together out in California. I know. Yes. So I know that has happened. So even though that's tampering or whatever, and like, come on, how else does John Elway woo guys but on the golf course? I actually have this story corroborated from 2 different sides, which is pretty wild. One is from someone in the golf world who booked the rounds. So it is verified. And then on the other end, by chance, I had a friend whose friends were playing at this club that weekend. And John and Aaron came up and played poker with them. So
Wow.
I guess it's corroborated on two sides, even though nobody's talking about that. But it's your out of the football world sources. So I know that has been happening at a very posh club in California. As far as Peyton, I don't know. I feel like here's the thing with John and Peyton. That's two alphas. One of them is doing the business, right? At this point. So I'm going to say John's handling that right now in his secret golf ways, doing some work. And
we're not so secret anymore.
We're not. Oops, my bad. So, right, not so secret anymore. But yeah, but then on the same token, yeah, I'd probably give Peyton a call. Hey, man, what was your experience out there? I'm sure they've talked, but Peyton also seems like the guy that's probably, yeah, man, it's great. You'd love it out here, but not like, yeah, man, you got to come here. He has loyalty to the Broncos, but I don't think it's to that extent.
It's a Cal Stanford detente that they've got. Aaron Rodgers is Mr. Berkeley. John Elway is Mr. Stanford Cardinal. This is...
Right, and that's why they probably just both happened to be playing golf one day.
Yeah.
And, the guy who was in charge of making the tee time said, oh, maybe these guys would enjoy playing together. No tampering. Just an encounter on the course.
Or it's the Montagues and the Capulets, right? Romeo and Juliet, the rival families, the rival factions. Let's just hope it turns out a lot better than Romeo and Juliet did.
It's like the Spider-Man thing. They get on the course. They're like, oh, you're here? Oh, you're...
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to play a little golf? Let's.
But playing poker too. There's all sorts of kind of symbolism there with the two. If the two of them are playing poker,
right? I know that is true. Right? It's one of those things that you're like, right? Even though nobody's been talking, right? It's well, technically they're not talking on any sort of or they've only been talking, I guess, on neutral ground. And hey, maybe they were only talking about golf, guys.
Right, exactly.
Just ran into each other at a nice posh club in California. I find that to be a likelihood.
How long are golf rounds? They're at least 4 hours, right?
4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I find it hard to believe that they would be together for 4 hours.
And I'm not positive on how many rounds Aaron played, but I know John played 3.
Nice.
So that's 12 hours of golf. Rodgers was part of at least 4 of those hours.
So how many hours at the poker table?
A little bottle of bourbon. Or there was a bottle of bourbon in the middle.
Romi, I think you broke some news here, Romi.
Oh, yes.
Whoops.
I've been waiting my whole life to be a newsbreaker.
We did it.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but I actually do think that Peyton would just give Aaron a call and do the dude, you think it's cool being popular in one place? Mm-hmm. Just wait until you are a legend in 2 different places. Come make Denver the ultimate QB haven. Can you imagine the smugness of Broncos fans when they have 3 of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time playing for them?
The Broncos will officially be like the place to retire and ride off into the sunset if they get Aaron Rodgers. You know what this kind of has had me thinking about lately is the great Theo Epstein had always said, what one thing he was terrible at was drafting and developing pitchers. So what he always did would stack his pitching rotation with free agents. So it's recognizing what you're not good at. The Broncos have struggled to draft and develop a quarterback, but you know what? Take that Theo Epstein model. If you're not good at that, then take it from somebody else. Then do what you got to do to fill the puzzle. It doesn't necessarily matter how you get it done. Sure, it'd be nice to have a homegrown guy from day one, but if you can't do it, there's other ways to get it done.
And now we're talking about in the next 5 years, it's Russell Wilson that's coming in when he's 37. Maybe 5 years after that, it's Patrick Mahomes coming in.
Hey.
Who knows how
Don't
crazy
tease
this
us
could
with
get.
that one. Don't tease us.
Maybe that might be too far. Maybe it's Josh Allen coming home or coming back to the Rocky Mountain region.
Right? Is Pat Shurmur still there at that point? Is there a reunion?
Something tells me no, but honestly, Aaron Rodgers would get Pat Shurmur a head coaching job somewhere again. So
and it's Adam Gase all over again.
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Well, Romi, you really went out with a bang here. A mic drop. We love to see it.
All right. I try to come in with some interesting little tidbits if I can.
Yeah. Well,
that was fantastic.
So
we had a blast, and you brought the energy. That's what I've been looking for.
Man, you
Yeah.
guys are the best. I'm so pumped. Thanks for having me.
You're the
And
best,
awesome.
Romi, and everyone, all of our fellow media people watching this. That's the model on how you come be a guest on Three Ring Circus.
Just hey, I try and be a model for something in life.
Well, you killed this, Romi. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a blast.
Thank you, guys. You are the best. I'll see a couple of you maybe this afternoon.
Yes.
Can't
at
wait.
Broncos
All
with the
right.
mini camp.
All right, have a great Friday,
you,
Romi.
Romi.
All right, thanks, guys.
There she is,
How-
Romi Bean.
Wow.
How about that?
Dropping
John and Aaron on the course together.
I think that's gonna be a clip that makes its way beyond this show. Let's just put it that way.
It's quite possible. It is
Yeah.
quite possible. All right, guys. Before we move on, that got me going. I feel like I need to come back to earth a little bit here. Maybe some Breck Celsius can lower my heart rate a little bit. So last Friday, I found out that last Thursday I found out that the lemonade seltzers were in store. Last Friday, first thing I did after work, went and found some of the lemonade seltzies, and oh man, they are incredible. Nice day out today, sun shining, perfect day to go get some lemonade seltzies, get the grill fired up, and hang out with some good company, which is, of course, the name of their hard seltzer down there at Breck Brew. Or you can head down to the DNVR bar, Nuggets on tonight, get you a member-sized Breck Brew. We will soon have the good companies in the fridge there at the DNVR bar. So many great things from Breckenridge Brewery. If you like the seltzers, if you don't like them, if you want to try the lemonade ones, if you want beer, you want Strawberry Sky, they're the perfect place to go.
And guys, speaking of good company, I've got the perfect place for you to go after you've had some good company. And also, if you want some good company, our friends over at Green Mountain Dental are part of our family over at DNVR. They come to the bar, we go to their family dental practice. And guys, if you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam like a good family member, they'll give you a gift, which is a free Sonicare toothbrush. So if you take care of your teeth over at Green Mountain Dental, not only will you get to talk to extreme Colorado sports fans just like all of us, but you'll also walk away with a free Sonicare toothbrush, which is the absolute best toothbrush that you can have. So just check them out, schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, and you'll receive a free Sonicare toothbrush. You'll be surrounded by part of our family. You'll get to talk sports, and they will treat you like family. So make sure to check them out, our friends over at Green Mountain Dental.
Sorry, guys. Can you guys get the next one? My text messaging here just blew up on me, and I can't find the next read here.
You got it there, Zach?
Yeah, I got to tell you guys about joining our family over at DNVR. It's an easy one. You don't need a read for this, guys. There's so many benefits for being a member at DNVR. Not only do you get to support us and leave your comments on this podcast, but you get the best damn coverage of all of Denver and really Colorado sports that you can imagine. And guys, now is the best time to join with playoffs starting. Avs kickoff on Monday night, their playoffs. We're going to have the best coverage. Nuggets start next week. Going to have the best coverage as well. And when you sign up for an annual membership, might as well do that because you'll get a free DNVR shirt of your choice, the most comfy shirts out there, and you get to choose it. Maybe you choose a playoff one. And of course, we've got all the Aaron Rodgers news coming for you this next month and hopefully these next few years. So make sure to sign up and become a member with us over at DNVR.
Yeah, my text. Sorry, guys, my text just went and pushed Zach's text with the reads down about 6 notches. So
They blown up because of the news that just broke on our program.
It would be interesting if they did, but no. It's a bunch of stuff from my wife about things I ain't do around the house today. So.
I
Shocker.
thought Mace was the
Yes.
popular man.
All right, well,
it is what it is.
let's move on here into the red zone, and we have our next guest here to join us. It is our guy, Nashville Bronco, hopping into the red zone, going to try and take on the gauntlet here. What's up, dude?
How are you guys? Good to see y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Great
Great.
to see you, man. So pumped that you're jumping on, Joey.
Yeah, I'm. Well, I got to show you guys my secret weapon here. So I was studying up.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Hey.
So I
Thank
kid you
you.
not,
I'm in trouble.
I
Thank
used to. I tried to read this to my youngest daughter when she would go to sleep before bed, She did fall asleep, so I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Mace. But, yeah, I've got it there. I'm going to keep my hand on it, draw some inspiration.
I stand no chance.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll find out.
It looks like you have some other cool. It looks like you have some other cool stuff there on your set. What do we got there?
Yeah, what's the album
just a bunch of just some show posters from bands and some artists I've played with, and that's actually I'm sure all my musician friends are going to give me crap about this for positioning the album there. I swear it was there before. I was fortunate enough to play on a couple gold records a handful of years ago. That's for artists named Jeremy Camp, kind of in the CCM world, and so they gave me. Well, they didn't give me. My mom bought that for me, and so we hung it up. So. Yeah, just some cool hat show print posters from the Ryman and different. I need to get one for Red Rocks though. But we haven't played Red Rocks. That's on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah, you gotta come. You gotta come make a tour stop in Denver.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to take a couple days off after because I'm gonna plan on spending some time at the DNVR bar for sure.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely.
All right,
what a set.
That's awesome. Love your setup. Well, let's step into the red zone here. And of course, the first round of questions is going to be from the post Peyton Manning era. So from 2016 onward. And let's start with this one.
Good luck, my friend.
Yeah. Same to you, buddy.
All right. The Broncos have an 8-game September losing streak right now. Who was the team they beat the last time they won in September?
Oh boy, this is the Case Keenum year, right? I believe. I guess you don't have to tell me.
Was it the Seahawks?
Ooh, I like to guess.
No,
that was it.
It wasn't. Okay,
That was the game before. It was the Seahawks.
Okay.
They did beat them, but then they won one more game in September that year.
The Raiders.
Correct.
Oh, Seahawks was good. That was week 1, right?
Yeah,
yes.
I was so hopeful.
Yeah.
Very close.
I mean, with Russ, they beat Russ. Yeah,
they did.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that was, and then it went downhill from there. I was actually at the game where Keenum overthrew DT. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we don't need to talk about it right now. It's going to bring us all down again. Yeah,
not quite Raheem Moore, but
I was at that game too.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
and I have never I've never watched that game again. It was that was awful.
So here's what we just learned: when you are at a close game, you have to leave before the end.
That's true. I'll do that. I'll do that from now on because it didn't work out well. Yeah.
Catch the rest of the game at the bar.
That sounds good. Okay, deal. Yep.
All right. Second question. In that game against Oakland, the Broncos trailed by 2 with 18 seconds left. They were on the fringe of field goal range. This Bronco caught a 26-yard pass to set up the game-winning field goal. Who made that catch?
Demaryius Thomas.
Oh.
Whoa.
That was aggressive.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well,
this was the first career reception for this Bronco pass catcher.
Jeez.
Oh, right after I guess DT, I get that one. Certainly wouldn't guess DT if that was the guess.
So wait, the setup was that this was that game. This is who.
This is the catch, that 26-yard catch set up the game-winning field goal, and this guy had never had an NFL reception before this moment.
Oh my gosh.
2018.
Raiders. That was 2019.
2018.
Patrick wasn't there. Going through the receivers in my head.
And I can't guess until you guess. So
I feel like you know it, don't you, Zach? Are you ready to pounce?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
I
Okay. Let's
wish.
see here.
You were on the right track.
Yeah.
I was on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Tim Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Timmy Patrick, 26 yards.
Trust myself.
Wow, impressive.
The launch of a very reliable career for Tim Patrick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. All right.
All right, final one.
Third question here. We're going to get away from the September stuff. We're going to get to the comeback last year against the Los Angeles Chargers. Who led the Broncos in receiving yards in that game, the 31-30 win for the Broncos over the Chargers?
Was it KJ Hamler?
No.
I'm gonna go Noah Fant. Oh.
Jerry Jeudy.
No.
No.
I know
Tim
it.
Patrick?
Nope.
It's Melvin Gordon.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
You guys are still going back and forth.
I
Keep the
can
guesses
guarantee it.
coming.
It wasn't Philip Lindsay. Was it Albert O?
Oh,
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
He only had one catch.
Tim Patrick?
Nope.
We already did that one.
Oh my goodness. Who in the world?
Okay, let's.
Guys, there's only one more option of guys that would
And
be active on
He's
game
been
day.
in the news this week.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Deshaun Hamilton.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I
Look
saw
at
that. I'm like,
look,
whoa.
I got the X. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to take down Zach. That was
Yep.
with the assist. I
You
appreciate
got it.
82 yards on 4 catches. Right behind him was 73 yards on 4 catches for Jerry Jeudy. And then you get to Fant, Melvin Gordon, KJ Hamler, and Albert Okwuegbunam with 1 catch for 9 yards and Phil with 1 for 3.
So
Wow.
KJ had the game winner, but that was
Yes.
Did he have another reception too?
KJ had 3 catches that day. They were all short. Remember, Deshaun had the touchdown that got the Broncos back within 3
Yep.
in the fourth quarter. Kind of basically his last, what will turn out to be his last big moment in orange and blue.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did we ever get a finale to that news yesterday?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
So,
He is
Uh,
still on the Broncos as of right now.
and that's the thing. His name wasn't on the transaction wire yesterday. So it's, you know how we see after the trade deadline in baseball, guys go through waivers, somebody claims, and that leads to a deal. It's almost like this is almost a baseball-like deal in August, the way this is functioning.
Gotcha.
Right. All right, guys, for this next round, these are going to be semi-easy questions. So what I need you to do is spit off the answers quick. This is a little speed round here, guys. All right, and you have to wait till the end of the question to start answering.
Oh,
All right. Denver has been particularly good at identifying undrafted free agents. Name 3 players Denver signed as undrafted free agents that went on to make at least 1 Pro Bowl.
Chris Harris Jr., Philip Lindsay,
Chris Harris Jr., Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp.
No, you guys got 2. You can
Okay,
give me
so
one more.
I got one more that's made a Pro Bowl.
You both have Chris and Phil.
Oh,
Shelby Harris.
Nope.
is this any time in Broncos history?
Yep. No, we'll do.
John
this
Mobley.
is since 2000.
Since 2000. Okay.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Mace is
Undrafted
dying.
free
Was I close? John Mobley was what? No, he was too early.
No.
No.
He was a
not
first-round
close.
pick.
Don't
No, I'm thinking of another.
don't think along those lines.
Okay.
Why am I struggling on this so much? This should be easy.
When you find out, it's
just-
gonna be a eureka moment.
Yeah, I know.
You just need one more. Let me know if you need a hint.
I don't want the hint because I have a free guess here.
Oh, do ya?
So do they have to have made the Pro Bowl since 2000?
Yep, they have made the Pro Bowl since 2000. Here's a tiny little hint. They were both also undrafted free agents after 2000. It wasn't like a before thing.
Okay, so they came into the league after 2000.
Correct.
Okay.
And yes, they made a Pro Bowl after 2000 as
Yes,
well.
of course. Oh God! All right, I'll take the hint. You can get in
Okay.
on this post hint. This
Okay.
is me.
Okay, so it's open firing range after this. Okay, we're gonna go with it. You have one of these players is also the same position as someone you guys have already guessed. That was correct.
Is it C.J. Anderson?
Boom. Yep. There you
Okay.
go.
I wanted to
There
say
you
that,
go.
and then for some reason in my head, I was like, was he a 7th-round pick?
Yeah.
I don't know why I was overthinking
And guys,
that.
there's also Shaq Barrett.
Oh,
geez, that's why I was blind. I was thinking when I said Mobley, I was thinking similar
Yeah,
position.
I mean, Zach didn't say made the Pro Bowl with the Broncos. He just said made the
I
Pro
would have
Bowl.
thought of Shaq. I never would have thought of Shaq.
Yeah.
I had CJ Anderson was the first thing that came to my mind, and then I just hesitated for some reason.
Yeah. Well, next time, no hesitating. No hesitating.
I know.
All right, guys. Let's go on to this next one, and it may be a quick one, so make sure to be fast on your feet. Name the 2 Arizona State quarterbacks to start games at quarterback for the Broncos since 2000.
Brock Osweiler.
Brock Osweiler and Jake Plummer.
Boom. Yep. There you go. Jake Plummer it is.
All right.
Dang, you know what? I thought Plummer, but I'm just, the years are blurring together. For some reason I was thinking he was earlier, but no, because was it 2006 when he led them to the AFC when they lost to the Steelers?
05.
Yeah. Gosh.
Well, you still get a bonus question with no opponent here to move on to face May.
Okay.
So, Zach, do you want to give your last one there? Or is it too easy?
I can. Do you have a good one? Do you have a tough bonus one?
Well, the thing is, if I have to give the... Okay, all right, I'll go. I'll do it. It's going to be a tough one.
Oh.
Was yours an easy one?
Yes.
All right, well, we'll go with the tough one since you got it. It's to stay alive here. All right. Which AFC West team does the Broncos have the best record against all time?
I like how this isn't that tough. You got 33%.
Yeah. Now wait, does it current AFC West?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, so current. Okay.
It's a really got 33% chance here. We're all
Yeah,
pulling
and
for you.
I can't see it being the Raiders because of all the success the Raiders had a very, very long time ago in the 70s. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
That is correct.
Yes. Great.
All right,
Yo.
He moves on.
There we go.
Gotta play a little San Diego Superchargers with that, right? Most of the games were in San Diego. Good times, good memories.
Good stuff. All right. We're going to send him on to the final round against Mace. But because I just had to use... all right, Mace, that's enough.
Oh, come on. It's a great song. I mean, it's disco. It's popping.
If I win or if I get one right, does Mace sign my book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So since I just had to burn one of my questions, Zach, start him off with your last question.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. All right. Let's oh man, I don't know where to go with this one. Okay. Mace will get this one. I can't do this one too. Okay, we'll go with this one. Be quick here, Nashville Bronco.
Okay.
Which player set the Broncos rookie record with most receptions in a game with 11?
Brandon Marshall?
Nope.
Eddie Royal.
Yep.
Oh, it was a good guess. Reception records and Brandon Marshall go together well.
Yeah.
All right. It's down 1-0. It only gets tougher from here.
Bring it. Bring on the tough one.
All right. Who holds the Denver Broncos career record for most punt returns?
Most punt returns. Rick Upchurch.
That is correct.
I actually thought Upchurch, but I was gonna say Gene Upchurch because I was combining older players and yeah. Dang. Yeah.
You can actually find that answer on page 111 of that book.
Perfect. There we go. I'm sure I have no doubt it's in there.
Well, it was a valiant effort, Joey. We appreciate you coming on, showing off some of your cool memorabilia in the background, and maybe Mace will still sign your book.
Yeah, when you come out to Denver, or if you come to a Bronco game that I'm at, just hit me up and I will sign the book. I'll write any message you want within reason.
That'd be
And,
that'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. I being out here in Nashville, it's easy to feel disconnected from the Broncos. So I love listening to you guys and being a part of it. And I wanted to give a quick shout. So when the pandemic hit and touring stopped, two of my good buddies were all touring drummers, and we had a lot of time on our hands. So we actually started a podcast, and it's called One More Pass. If anybody wants to check it out, One More Pass. It's kind of a play on words for doing a session, one more pass, and football. And we just get together and we tell old tour stories and we talk about sports, and it's really, really fun. The guys have great senses of humor, but yeah, check it out. One More Pass. I came up with a segment at the end. I was pretty proud of it. It's called Pod Damn It, where we just kind of go off and we vent about whatever's bugging us this week. And I don't know if Zach's going to like it, but I had a pretty strong take on Tim Tebow, that whole charade. I tend to side with Mace a little more on that. But thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Oh, this was a blast.
We loved having you.
Great
Thank
job.
you
Thanks
very
for coming
much.
on with
You guys
us,
have a good
man.
weekend.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one, man. Wow,
He made a
that
great
was-
acquittal of himself. The
Yes.
Nashville Bronco.
Absolutely. Great performance from him. Very charismatic. I would listen to his podcast.
Absolutely. Yep. One more pass.
Check it out. We appreciate him. And yeah, he's I'm sure he has some cool stories. I've chatted with him a little bit in the past just about, some of the tours that he's been on. And he's a pretty well-renowned drummer in that world.
Yeah, I mean, did you see what all the stuff he had behind him? That was pretty awesome.
Maybe one of our more famous listeners.
Yeah, really, seriously.
Other than, of course, Aaron Rodgers.
That's true. Yes.
All right. Before we go too much further, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Green Mountain Dental Group, where you can get a free Sonicare toothbrush when you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, exam. So make sure you get over to Green Mountain Dental Group and scope them out today.
Also, make sure to check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Guys, of course, they have all of the Aaron Rodgers bets that you can do, and the Broncos just keep getting better. They're at plus 125 as of earlier today on DraftKings Sportsbook. And guys, they've also got stuff if you want to cash in this weekend. Make sure to check out what they've got going on for the UFC 262 card. The big names from Nate Diaz to Michael Chandler, they've got it all. And DraftKings is the official betting partner of UFC, so they're giving you a chance to turn $1 into $100 on this weekend's fights. Here's what you do. Just pick one of the select fighters to win, and if they win, you cash $100. There's no better way to put your MMA knowledge to the test than by putting your money where your mouth is over at DraftKings Sportsbook. And guys, if MMA isn't for you, well, get in on the playoff basketball, playoff hockey that's coming up starting in just a couple of days. It's going to be so much fun with those basketball plays. And one thing I love is the daily odds boost. You guys got to get those odds boosts as well. So make sure to head to the App Store now, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use promo code DNVR when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 when you bet on a main card fighter to win. Place your bet and watch the fists fly. That's code DNVR to turn $1 into $100 on select main card fighters. For a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Zach, did you say the Broncos were at plus 125 on
They
the?
were.
They were yesterday.
It's changed today. It's 6-4, or for those of you who don't speak that language, it's plus 150. Whereas the Packers are now 1-2 minus 200.
Yeah, interesting movement there. Maybe they haven't listened to Three Ring Circus yet.
So get on that now though, because
Yeah.
it's if you like that the odds, well, now's the time to get on when they're even better.
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting to follow this as we get closer to June 1st. Right now, I mean, nothing's gonna happen, so we're just in like a weird purgatory as it relates to news on there. Some things will flare up, maybe they'll go away, they'll come back, and then really the last week of May is where we might have a decent idea of what this is going to look like.
And it's, of course, obviously the odds reflect where the gambling is going, where the action is. And I think the action was probably reaction to the John Kuhn quotes from earlier this week when he was saying, "Hey, I'm talking with Aaron Rodgers, and it seems like they can that they can have some reconciliation here." So again, it's just reacting to the drip. But we kind of knew that after the initial burst, it was going to kind of go on ice for a little bit, and then I expect probably it'll heat back up as we get closer to Memorial Day and closer to the end of the month.
I'm going to feel very used and abused if Aaron Rodgers signs like a 5-year, $150 million fully guaranteed contract in Green Bay.
Oh.
Man, wouldn't that just feel like that big time that he just played us?
Yeah.
He may not want to spend as much time in Boulder as he would have otherwise if that's how it works out. But maybe he would want to spend time in Boulder or Colorado in general because of there are certain things that are legal here that aren't legal in Wisconsin. And that's where our friends over at Solace Meds come in. They're a new partner, and they're a premier dispensary with great deals and 4 convenient Colorado locations. They're in Fort Collins, Wheat Ridge, off Broadway, and then on East Colfax, just blocks away from the DNVR bar. Let me tell you about some of those great deals they've got. They got 20% off all Glacier concentrates, 20% off Mile High extractions, 20% off CBN gummies, 2 for $25 on Koala and Solace 100 milligram bars, 15% off any 3 grams of connoisseur concentrates, and buy 3, get 1 free for the entire store. And all of these deals you can get, and beyond that, get another 20% off when you use that magical code DNVR20 at checkout. Solace Meds will make your cannabis shopping experience a delight. You go to their website, which is SOLACEmeds.com, view their menu, place your order, and then go pick it up at your convenience at any one of those 4 locations. And of course, like I said, when you make that purchase, use that code DNVR20 and save 20% off. It's the best way to support DNVR, of course, by supporting our partners. So remember, go to SOLACEmeds.com, solacemeds.com, use that code DNVR20 and get 20% off. And when you go on over there, let us know and tag us and tell us about the experience you had over with Solace Meds at SOLACEmeds.com.
All right, guys.
I am pumped for this next draft, guys.
What do we have, Zach? Why don't you tell the people?
Well, we've got the Great Broncos Schedule Draft here, guys. So what we're doing is we're picking games on the Broncos schedule. You can include whether it's home or away. That needs to be included in here because that plays into how easy a game is. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build the easiest schedule for the Broncos. So pick the most winnable games for the Broncos. And guys, it's going to get tough in the end because there are some tough games on this schedule. So let's get into it. Does that make sense for you guys?
Yes, it does. I feel like I have pick 1.
I've got 2 because I had 3 last week.
All right, give me pick 3.
All right, here we go.
Ryan, what's the easiest game on the Broncos schedule?
Yeah, I think this one is pretty obvious. I'm just skimming over it one last time to make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, this one to me is pretty easy. It's week 3, home to the New York Jets. Not worried about Zach Wilson. And I think that you're getting the worst team here in the best circumstances in terms of early game at Mile High, the season opener. The Broncos are dominant in that regard there. So to me, this is the one you get Wilson early before he has a chance to kind of adjust, and you get yourself an easy win.
Interesting. Okay, Mace, how are you following that up?
You know what? I actually was going to go with another choice because even though you have a young quarterback and by then you've got 2 games of film on that guy, and that, of course, is Zach Wilson with the Jets, I think the Jets are going to be a little bit of a feisty team, and I think the change in coach from Adam Gase to Robert Saleh and the change in offensive philosophy is really going to help them out, and they're going to steal some games, maybe not early, but that might be a tougher game than expected. The free space on the board for me is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is awful. If they are the hot dog water of the NFL.
I actually disagree.
Oh,
of course you do.
Well,
because you have a Philadelphia person in your house. The Eagles are dysfunctional. The Eagles, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the guy. Joe Flacco, we know isn't the guy. And if it's Joe Flacco coming into Denver, the fans, they're going to be riled up whenever they're there for a game, but the fans are going to be out for blood if Joe Flacco is the starter. That I think is. I look at
Why
the
would Joe
Broncos game
Flacco be the starter though?
because Jalen Hurts maybe isn't the guy. Jalen Hurts has gotten hurt. Pardon the pun, no pun intended. Yeah, I think the Broncos absolutely massacre the Eagles when this game happens.
Interesting.
Yeah, they
I
better.
think that Jalen Hurts is better than people is going to do better than people expect.
Interesting. Hey, I'm all about that. Go Jalen Hurts. But guys, I would probably have gone with the Eagles as well here. And what this boils down to me is the Jets may be a worse team as an entire team, but I like the way they're trending more than the Eagles. And also, it comes down to quarterback, guys. And I like Zach Wilson over Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco. The Broncos, let me get this clear. The Broncos should win both of these games, absolutely. These are both two good picks. And I'm going to go with another game that I think is another good pick for my first pick. And I'm going to go another home game. And it is the Detroit Lions, guys. I think the Lions are, it's weird to say that they are totally rebuilding when they don't have a young quarterback, which I just think makes it even more awkward for them. But I'm going with Detroit. You guys okay with that pick? Is that a solid pick?
Yeah, that's what I would have gone with there.
Okay. Now, next one. We're getting our first road game here, guys. And there's kind of a toss-up on these two road games for me, but I'm going with the one that I think the fans will like. And it's the first one. Week 1, Giants. Broncos should get this game. I don't like that it's on the road, but if you have to choose a road game, it's week 1 when you're not playing a game the week before or anything. You get 2 weeks after that last preseason game, so it shouldn't be too bad. Vic Fangio can handle this however he wants, and Vic Fangio should feast off Daniel Jones and Mr. Turnover.
What is interesting is that Giants fans view that game the same way Broncos fans view it. That
Of course,
they're looking and saying, "Oh, we got this." It's and given kind of what you got with the teams, assuming there's no Aaron Rodgers, and that is Drew Lock, Daniel Jones. They're trying to prove themselves in their third year. Both teams have huge players coming back from significant injuries. Of course, Cortland Sutton and Von Miller. And for the Giants, the pistons that make that engine go all belong to Saquon Barkley, and he's coming back from injury. So it's almost like that Spider-Man, the dual Spider-Mans where they're pointing at each other. That's what this game feels like to me in week 1.
Yeah, I do also think though that they're gonna maybe not ride Saquon Barkley the way they would have in the past. I think they're gonna want to make sure they have him for a few games this season.
That's a good point. And really quick, Higher Learning's in the comment section saying, why aren't you guys putting Houston here? Well, the reason is because the Broncos don't play Houston, or else, Houston would be up there. So this is just games that the Broncos play this year. Yeah.
So it would be nice to play Houston, but alas, they don't. And we'll get to the AFC South opponent that the Broncos have in a little bit. But that's not my pick here. My pick is it is going to be Cincinnati in December as the next one up, and it's just the Bengals are intriguing, and certainly with Joe Burrow, if he builds off of last year, they're on their way. But I don't see that they're going to be able to protect him much better than they did last year. I mean, with Jamar Chase, perfectly logical pick. I would have gone with Penei Sewell. I would have tried to protect the asset rather than bring in the receiver, even though Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have wonderful on-field chemistry together. And I think there's a decent shot that if the line struggles again, that maybe Joe Burrow was hurt once again this year. And, of course, that game is in December. And is the Bengals backup quarterback still Brandon Allen, fellas?
I do not know.
I'm not quite sure.
I mean, let's see here. I'm going to go. I'm just looking at their depth chart really quick.
Mace is just counting on all of his teams that he's picking to be playing their backup quarterbacks.
I know.
Yeah. you got Brandon Allen as the backup. They've also got Kyle Shermer. So
yes.
A little bit. Let's just say if Joe Burrow goes down, it's gonna be ugly for the Bengals when they come to Denver, no matter who the Broncos quarterback is.
I would agree.
All right. So I've got back-to-back picks here, and I'll start with one that I really think. I think this one is easier than it just looks when you look at it. And this is at Jacksonville in week 2. I just don't think that team's going to be meshed and ready to go. quite that early. I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to go on to have a great NFL career, but I don't think it's going to get off to a seamless start for them, especially with Urban Meyer trying to figure out how to coach in the NFL again. There's a lot of, hurdles that I think they have to clear before that team's going to be ready to go. And I think they actually get off to a really slow start, including a loss to the Broncos. And then the next one, I will take home against the Raiders.
Ooh.
Home against the Raiders. In week 6 there, I just think that that's one of the more winnable games on the schedule for the Broncos. It's one that they kind of need to get.
Yeah, I like those two. And guys, I think after those two picks, it falls off a cliff in terms of easy games. And I don't think home against the Raiders is necessarily an easy game, but I think it's much easier than the rest of the game. So now, Ryan, I like where you sit with having.
I was just gonna say, Kale, it's LVR is their shortening,
or just LV, or just LV.
But yeah, guys, I think it just falls off a cliff. So Ryan, I think you're in a good spot sitting with 3 games where Mason and I only have 2 games in the very easy category here.
Yeah.
But for this next one, guys, I have to look.
Wait, it's I have to pick, Zach.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Okay.
Nice try, Zach. Nice try.
I tried.
Who's backup quarterback are we seeing this week?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's not so much the backup, but the starter here is prone to some mistakes, and it's also a home game. So going with Washington, even though I agree with what you said earlier, RK, this could be a sneaky tough game, especially based on what Washington's pass rush can bring. But it's a game at home. The Broncos are going to have 10 days to get ready for it coming off of Thursday night football. I think it's one that I like a little bit better than, for example, at Dallas.
Yeah.
Yep. That's definitely the pick there, Mace. Man, I really don't like these games from now on, but I'm going to go Raiders on the road, guys. To me, this all now boils down to quarterbacks, and really the rest of these quarterbacks are all pretty tough. I think Derek Carr is the worst of all of the remaining quarterbacks, so I'm going to go at Raiders for this one. And now I don't look at the schedule and say there's a good quarterback to play. But now it all absolutely stinks. You're choosing between Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, Ben Roethlisberger, Baker Mayfield. This is just an absolute nightmare. So I guess I don't want to pick the Chargers just because of what Justin Herbert could be. So I'm going to go Cowboys on the road here. Don't love it, but it's now we're picking between a bunch of bad choices.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zach. I don't love any options here as well.
I hate that I have 3 road games.
Yeah. And I've been thinking home game, road game here, but you kind of mentioned the quarterbacks, and Ben Roethlisberger, if he has hit a wall, this is the one where you say maybe it's a game the Broncos could steal at Pittsburgh. This is actually where, guys, my Aaron Rodgers versus incumbent quarterbacks form. This is where the road forked for me. I have the Broncos winning this game if Aaron Rodgers is in orange and blue, losing it. But remember, last year with Jeff Driscoll, had a chance to win at the end. Now, there were no fans in the stands. It's going to be obviously be a lot different at Heinz Field this year. But if Pittsburgh's end of season form from last year carries over to this year, maybe this is a game the Broncos steal. Maybe.
Interesting. So I think I'm going to go a little out of the box here. So first pick here, I don't know if people actually notice this when they vote on this on Twitter, but all of you who are watching can remember this. This game comes directly after the bye, which is something I love about it. And so I'm going to take against the Chargers at home in week 12 here for this pick. And then to wrap up, right, I have 2 in a row to finish here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll take another home game against the Chargers. Give me at Los Angeles Chargers. So I only end up with one away game here, and that is at Jacksonville. The Broncos are 3-1 the last 2 years against the Chargers. I'm not scared of them.
So what we've got left now is Baltimore, Cleveland, Kansas City, Kansas City.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's a home game. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you manage to intercept Lamar Jackson once. I'll take Baltimore.
Okay.
Wow.
It's the best bad option here.
Yeah, and
You
I
don't have a choice here.
Yeah.
Kale, I'm gonna either shoot myself in the foot because, oh man, guys, do I go week 18, Chiefs at home with the biggest part being week 18, or do I just feel stupid putting Chiefs on my schedule at all, guys? The key, I can't put the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I can't put the Chiefs on here, so I'm going to have to go at Browns just because anyone sees at or Chiefs and they're going to freak out. So at Browns. I hate it.
4 away games.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when they it's tough when you have the third pick in this one. That was a really tough draw.
Yeah, you got a really tough draw. And I think me with the first pick got a pretty darn good draw.
Yeah, I would think so as well. Guys, I'm going to get obliterated in this one. But that reminds me, we need to put the cereal one up from last week because I'm going to win that one.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm winning that one for sure.
Come on. I've got some popular picks there. I've got some sugar bombs all the way through my draft.
Was that one ever did we ever get the graphic on that one?
No, never got up.
Hopefully Kale still has it.
Yes.
I have to remake that one because I did the Photoshop file, but I'll do that this afternoon.
Oh no. Kale, someone in the comments is freaking out that the verses in my home game against the Chargers doesn't have the period. It's the only one that doesn't have it. So, just to help our guy Mike's day go on its merry way, we'll throw a period in there for him.
Yeah, Mike edits stuff, so I know that Mike is very keen to have this sort of thing right.
It makes sense. Now I was debating back and forth whether to just leave it and just be a villain, but I'm feeling nice.
You're not a rebel.
No, I'm not. I'm not. All right, well, 90 minutes later, I think that wraps up another edition of Three Ring Circus for us. Before we get out of here, I want to tell you guys about our friends at the Colorado XOs. What they're doing is really, really cool. It's really worth checking out. They're taking athletes from different sports all around the country and saying, hey, why don't you guys come and play rugby? I know, it didn't quite work out for you in the NFL or the MLB or the MLS. But why don't you come try out rugby? You're a great athlete who's made it very far in your life. And maybe if you get these skills down, you can make the USA rugby team. They've made a whole team out of these guys. It's the Colorado XOs. And we actually cover them on our rugby podcast, the DNVR Rugby Podcast, which you can check out anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's a good listen from our friend Colton Strickler. So check them out. There you go, the Colorado XOs. But again, for us on Three Ring Circus, that is going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. And we'll talk to you on Monday.